Hi, Dr. Nick. Oh, fuck. Oh, hi, everybody. Hi, Dr. Nick. You remember that guy from The Simpsons? That pedophile-looking doctor fella. Anyway, guys, good morning. It's nice and early on a Tuesday morning. This long weekend has got me thrown off quite a bit because, yeah, mate, they've given everyone 3 days off for the National Day weekend. Today is still off for most people, and then I think everyone's back to work tomorrow. But anyway, we're still here, bright and early. It's 5:20 on Tuesday morning. Guys, I'm going to go through my daily routine. So as of sort of this year, I made stretch a very big important part of my my morning start. Look, I've been training on a proper level since I was probably I got into it when I was probably around 14, and then you start taking things a little bit more serious, I reckon, around the age of 16, and whether I was training the right way then, but the serious mindset kicked in around 16, I think, so and that's like weight training and a lot of like sport related training since then. But like, as much as stretching was an importance, it was usually only after sport, and growing up playing a fair bit of sport, that's the only time you'd stretch, what I mean? So as I've got older, now 35 years old, I'm starting to realise that my body is paying for a lot of the stuff that I have done in the past in terms of like weight training and contact sports and whatnot. So I really said to myself this year that I was going to make it a priority to incorporate stretching, try to do it every day, twice a day even sometimes. So I've done that. I've been pretty good at it this year. I will miss the occasional day just because early start and session after session, whatnot, so I don't really get time to do it. But without making excuses, even if I do a quick stretch before bed at night, I've definitely found it's helped me out. I was suffering with a lot of lower back pain, just tension through my hamstrings, glutes, lower back. It got really bad this year, where to the point I was having to wear braces and stuff around just to absorb that pain a little bit, which wasn't too good. It was like very demotivating for me as well when it came to training. I'd wake up in the morning in agony. I sometimes still do. Like, I know yesterday we had rugby training and I woke up and I was stiff, really stiff. But again, that was just the ill discipline to stick around for another 20 minutes and stretch properly, you know what I mean? So I think a lot of people are finding that, and as they get older, or as we get older, these things have to be definitely in the top 3 of the important factors while keeping yourself healthy and fit. Keeping yourself limber is definitely a big thing, right? So I'm just going to go through my morning routine. I use a Tabata timer for a lot of my stretching, so it gives me the right amount of time to have that specific muscle under stretch. So I usually do 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, and I usually hit it 4 times per leg, or again, whatever I'm stretching. So I'm going to do a lower body stretch today, but I try to do the whole body in that first 15 to 20 minutes of every day, just to loosen myself up. I'm a big believer in dynamic stretching as well, but I'll leave that for another IGTV segment. So we're just going to go static stretching today, using a band, foam roller, and just a bigger lacrosse ball. I've got the small one, but I like the big one. So let's get into it. I usually start with just rolling my lower back as soon as I get in. Usually that's my tightest spot on my body is my lower back. So I roll just to get myself comfortable. I can feel the cracks down my spine as well when I'm doing this. So that's a nice feeling. So I just hit that, maneuver my hips into it, and then we sort of do that for a couple of minutes. And then this is where I get this ball. For me, this is a comfort factor. Look, if physios and stuff are watching this, it's probably not the full correct technique, but as I said, this is what's working for me at the moment. I know my glutes are really tight, my hamstrings are really tight, so I try to just hit them before I get the band and start stretching. So I'll get this ball, I'll put it under my glute, and I sort of, and this is while having the foam roller underneath me, and I just really get in to that glute area, and every time I can feel it on a really tight space, so I know that I need to really work and dig into that area. Okay, so I try to turn my hips, loosen my hips into it, right, and just gauge that flexibility. I try to do both sides. Okay, so again, we'll roll over to my right side, do the same thing. Definitely my left side is the worst side of my body. A lot more pain on that side. Okay, so again, I'll do that for a couple of minutes. I'm not going to go through the full routine, otherwise we'll be here forever. So yeah, I start with the ball and the roller just to get myself a little bit more comfortable, get myself a little bit loose, and then we go into the bands. Now, as I said, I use a Tabata timer. 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. I put it on for 16 rounds, and then I go through each stretch 4 times. And what you want to do is try to get deeper and deeper into the stretch as those rounds go on. So the first round's obviously just going to be a little bit lighter. Second round, push it a little bit more. Third, fourth, should be to maximum stretch. So I start with my hamstrings. I put this band around my foot, okay, and the other side around my neck, right, and then I straighten my leg out just like this. Okay, so as the rounds go on, I start pulling back. So again, I'm not going to go through the whole sequence, but as you can see, it's a nice straight leg, right, and I just relax into it for 20 seconds. I breathe, and we just go on. Okay, so as I was saying, is that every round you just want to start pushing that stretch a little more and a little more. Okay, so I do both my left and my right. I start pulling on the band, so my foot starts to flex a little bit more towards me, my toes towards me. Okay, you want to end up a nice straight leg and pushing that stretch so you can feel it in the back of the hamstring. Now, after I've done both of those legs, I go left leg 4 times, right leg 4 times, I switch my stretch. Same band around the neck, it stays there, okay, and then we turn into a twist. I want to keep the shoulder down, keep the foot out or leg out straight. Again, no bend in the knee, and you can feel that run straight down there. So I want to keep my head turned the opposite way and just go to where my body allows me in terms of flexibility. Okay, so just like that, 20 seconds. Again, trying to push that stretch further and further towards the ground. And look, as you keep going with this stretch, like daily or every second day, your flexibility through your hips and your hamstrings will get a lot more greater. Okay, I've noticed a big difference this year in just doing that stretch alone. Okay, saves my lower back big time, especially when I'm walking around the gym, on the hour, every hour, everything's just tightening up as I do that. Okay, so I do that stretch, right? That again, let's just go through it around the neck here and across. Turn the other way. Hold that. Okay. Right. So again, left leg 4 times, right leg 4 times. 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. Then I go into a glute stretch. Okay. So again, this band is amazing. You can use this for everything. I've worked out little ways just to tweak these stretches so you can get you don't always need someone stretching you to push you into those positions. So I have this around my foot. Okay, this is going to go into a glute stretch. Get the other leg, I put it on my quad. Okay, I bend, right, and then we have that stretch for the glute, and you just let the band do its work and where you feel is comfortable. Okay, so try to keep your leg at a 90 there and just push that knee towards you, and you'll feel that stretch through here. Okay, And if you can, grab this arm, just push on that knee on the outside, and you'll feel that right there. Okay, again, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off on the same leg 4 times, and you just try to work that stretch more and more every time it goes on. Okay, and then I do that again 4 times, left, right, on the glutes, right? And the last one I like to do is my quads, right? So I usually have a box behind me, okay? Or if you don't have a box or a step, you can also just come down into this position, lean back, right, and stretch those quads out, right, through here. Again, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, right? The other one is, let's use this as a small makeshift step or a box, is to put the foot down, okay, all the way up and leaning in and stretching that quad out. Okay, probably gone out of frame here, but you can see my position, and you push your hips in forward, you can feel that straight down there. Okay, so that's again 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, 4 times on either leg. Okay, I definitely feel like that one, the quad stretch, helped my lower back. I didn't realize how tight I was in my quads until I started to do that stretch, and that really took a lot of tension off my lower back. All right, so give that one a shot, or either one of those a shot. And then after that, after those rounds are done, you know, that's probably hitting the majority of those muscle groups in terms of the legs. And then I just try to open up my hip flexors a little bit, because I think that's also a point where a lot of people have a lot of pain, is through the hip flexors. So you just open up your legs here, try to sit your butt towards the ground, okay, and just relax into it. You don't want to push these stretches too much at the beginning, because you can possibly tear muscles or injure yourself through like the hip flex or the groin, stuff like that. All right, so just sitting into it, maneuvering your hips slowly. Again, you'll feel that stretch through there. I'm very tight through my hip flexors as well. Okay, so we'll just go through that. Right, so that's basically my morning starts, my morning stretch routine. I try to do that every morning. As I said, you know, I may miss a day or two, but I try to get at least fitted in somewhere during the day. So give those a go, guys. Like, that's something that's worked for me this year, and something that I've, as I said, incorporated and stuck to, you know, as well as everything else that I'm sort of putting in place for my training goals. So yeah, give that a go. I hope that helps. You know, that's definitely helped my lower back pain and kept my sort of lower body a lot more limber, saving me from injury, you know what I mean? So yep, give it a shot. I hope that helped you out, and peace. We'll go through some dynamic stretching on the next IGTV series, and see how you go. Thanks guys, peace.